Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today's the 17th of February, 2023. We're going to talk about Microsoft today. And, from a technical chart perspective, we're going to try to see if it's going to let us know where price is going to move. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this real quick because I did a video in Microsoft on the 25th of January. And you guys can tell already that I didn't do a price prediction. I wanted the markets to give us more information. And we definitely have received that on the chart. I think I did tell you, though, that if price in Microsoft was able to hold this area of $234, that we will be looking for the market to go higher, and that has definitely been the case. So from that standpoint, we are very correct on that. But let's get down to it. Okay, so first of all, we're going to clean this chart up in the market in Microsoft. You guys can see that the overall trend zooming out the market is still up. Okay, so we're definitely still noticing how the long-term trend in Microsoft is still in play. Okay, so price currently is hovering above this long-term trend line, which means that generally price is still geared to go higher. The next thing that I want to talk to you all about is also how price has broken the downtrend line. Okay, this downtrend started in Microsoft on the 29th of December 2021. Price has been trending down, and now you all can tell that price is outside of that downtrend line. So both of those things happening to the market in Microsoft lets us know that generally the buyers have an edge in the market in Microsoft. So we're going to definitely play that out. Okay, so we're looking for the overall price action in the market in Microsoft is leaning more towards price going up. Now, one thing I don't like is where price is in relation to this long-term ascending line. I don't like that. Price is currently definitely trading well away from there. I mean, if we were to see price in Microsoft go from 262 all the way down to this trend line, that's 14% move lower, right? And everyone on mainstream media, social media is going to be doing videos talking about is now the time to come in and buy Microsoft. Price has fell 14%. That is the pristine location to come in and buy Microsoft right there on that trend line, right? That is where you'll want to come in and nibble and purchase more of the stock, not necessarily up here around 262, especially if we're noticing resistance. Yes, there is a resistance point in the market in Microsoft right here. Okay, so the battle lines has been drawn. You guys can see where price has gotten rejected right there around 262. Or not 262, around 275. Price got rejected, and we're seeing buyers on the trend line. Okay, so check this out. Let's zoom back in and let's pay attention to what we expect. Now, noticing that the last area of change occurred here, we need to think a little bit more bearish, at least in the near term. I'm not saying in the long term, i.e. monthly basis. I'm not saying in 10 years, 15 years. That's not how I view a long term. But right now, we saw the last price change on this resistance line, 275. Okay, so our idea in our mind needs to be that price currently needs to go down, right? So right now may not be the opportunity to come in and buy this stock. Take a look at Microsoft on a weekly basis. It's on the weekly chart. Okay, so at the conclusion of today, so in the next 9 hours, if the market in Microsoft is closing down here on the low end of this weekly price bar, then we need to expect price to continue to dip. Now, I'm not saying crash, I'm not saying plummet, but we understand that the current idea of the market is lower prices. If this was the completed weekly price bar right now, I would have to say that price is going to go lower. It's going to dip. And the idea of that dip needs to be 250. Maybe even down here to like 245 to 240. So I would say 250 down here to 240 is where those points of movement is where my expectations would be. Okay, so looking at this, the prior week, this is where the selling came into the market in Microsoft. First of all, because the price closed off of the highs, we're still getting sellers at 275 even on this current weekly price bar. So let's keep it real. The buyers are not showing up right now. They're not on the weekly chart. Look at it's on the 5-day chart. They're not coming in right now. They're not convinced that price at 275 is attractive. Now, we can't make them come in and buy. If the buyers are not there, they're not there right now. Look, it's on the 3-day chart. Again, in the next 9 hours, price close on the low end of this 3-day price bar. Then we have to look for price to go lower. So the chart is telling us that the next movement in Microsoft is lower prices. Okay, now that's the idea. The next thing we need to do is figure out how low. How low you think price is going to go before buyers find price attractive. So I've already said 250, but I'm going to do smaller price target. I'm going to do like 255 first. Okay, so let's see what we had at 255 rather than 250. So around 255, that's around 2.66%. Like, that's minimal. That's nothing. You can see Microsoft move 2% in one day. But that still would give us, in terms of a move lower, 255, 2.66%. Okay, I know that's not a lot, but we want to be prepared as to how price is going to move. So that's my first target. But again, the bigger area that we can see price in Microsoft move is towards 250. Okay, that's around 4 3/4%, around 250. Okay, 249.67, in or around that area. And then my third area for Microsoft will be 245. That's going to be my third target. And that's around 6.47%. $245 is my third target. Now that is those 3 locations that I'm eyeing the market in Microsoft to move. And until we see the buyers come in on one of those 3 targets that I've mentioned, we could continue to see price go a lot lower than that. Okay, so I just really want everyone to be prepared for that in terms of Microsoft going a lot lower. Especially if we don't see buyers come in on my targets, then be prepared for it to go to 240 and then 230 and then ultimately test that ascending line. Now, we don't want to see that happen, but just be prepared that the last price change occurred at $275, and that broke that move to the upside in Microsoft. So we need to wait until we see buyers. Buyers don't show up on my 3 targets, then we're going to go a lot lower. I'm just preparing you all for that. So now it's your turn. Go ahead and give me your thoughts. Make sure you maintain the profitability, and as always, trade different.